Hey guys, Micah from blackbearcustomkydex. I've got a quick video for you today on a sheath that I just made for my buddy Chris down at Exotac, and he sent me his PKS mountain lion and his PKS, I actually don't know what they call these, whether it's a spearhead or arrowhead or what, but this cool little blade here. So he wanted a piggyback sheath for these two with an Exotac Fire Rod XL, and a little funny backstory. So he sent me, this is the third project I've done for him, and the second one that I did for him was this very same knife with this very same fire rod on it, and I think I'd done it in ATAX Vista, and just a simple little setup for him. But anyway, so he sent this to me again and asked if I could do a piggyback with this added on it. So he wanted it in OD green or black multicam, which is also called Supercam Night Stalker, for those of you who wonder. So I just combined the colors like so, and you can actually detach this sheath if you take the screws out and take off the piggyback, and you'll have a nice reinforcement plate that serves as an accent color as well on the PKS mountain lion. He asked for a short drop loop instead of a dangler, so I started a new design for my drop loops, which kind of just conceals the leather a little bit more, because it does look a little bit weird having leather just directly screwed to the kydex, for the loop. Functions just fine, but I think this looks nicer, and we like it to look nice too. So you can see that bracer plate goes down there, and the idea behind that is if your sheath ever flexes, if you snag on something, whatever, that plate is going to reinforce and push back so that your sheath doesn't bend too far and crease or break. So it's a nice little reinforced setup right there. And obviously the leather, I always waterproof and slick the edges and do some nice leather work to it. So there's that. We got a ferro rod holder, which is obviously compatible with this position that it's in currently. However, if you take the screws out and you wanted to move it, you could actually put it down here to the first two screws near the throat of the mountain lion sheath. So why did I have them in a different drill spacing? Well, the honest truth is that originally I had set it up to be down here on the mountain lion sheath, but then after building it all together, I thought it might be nice if I moved it up and put it actually between the two sheaths. You can see that's where it is held right there. So I thought that was a better way of rocking it. To me, it looks nicer, but you do have that option to move it, and it's a really nice option if you ever decide to take off the arrowhead sheath and just go with the mountain lion alone. You can still have your ferro rod on it. Now, one thing I will say, Chris, if you're watching, if you do that, do not put it through these two holes. Why? Well, because the rod, you can actually kind of see that profile where I curve the bottom of my sheaths. I have to plan differently. I can't just have a standard, snugged up ferro rod loop riding on the bottom there, because this one, in this particular case, will be unable to get in there because you can see the handle goes right over the top of the PKS, so you wouldn't be able to just rock it on the edge through those two holes. However, it is set up so that it can go through these two holes and still have the clearance it needs, so check that out. I thought this color combo would look really nice, and I decided to do this little plate over the front. It's really just aesthetic, but I've stamped my BBCK lettering into that, and yeah, looks really nice. You guys know me, I like to make the ferro rod holders snug at first. It's not super tight or anything, it's really easy to remove. However, it's tight enough that it's not going to rattle at all. It's certainly not moving around, but as you know, you're going to wear this thing down, make it smaller, and it will be loose inside that housing. So eventually the shock cord goes from just looking cool to being 100% necessary. So there we go. This little spearhead, arrowhead, whatever it's called, is not actually 100% symmetrical. So it's pretty close, but just little differences like the rope being tucked on one side and not on the other makes it a little bit of a challenge to create the kydex for it. And yes, I could have just molded it in one way, left it that but you would still have to always plan for keeping it the same way in the holder, because if you flip it around, it's actually going to push the sheath in a different direction. It might not be as tight, or it might be too tight. So what I did was I just molded the opening of the sheath with the bump side facing one direction, flipped it around, and redid the other side on that bump. So that way, you know, if it's dark or you're just not paying attention, it doesn't matter which direction you put this in. It's so close to being a symmetrical tool that I didn't think it was really a good idea to have it be set up so that there's a definite front or back. You'll feel there is a slight difference in the retention on one side versus the other, but I like it either way. And no matter what, there is a tiny bit of play. You can see I can wiggle that just like up maybe a millimeter. It's a really small wiggle, but it's not actually moving around on its own. You have to do that by hand. So there's no rattle. It's not loose. It's not going to fall out on you. Got good retention on that. So there's that, and you can see it comes right up to the edge of the throat of the sheath for the mountain lion. So it's not quite getting in the way of your fingers. You'll feel it when you go to draw. You'll feel the mountain lion or the arrowhead, but it won't actually inhibit you being able to get your finger up in the choil there. So you can get a full grip on your knife, got ballistic one-handed draw, and you're just ready to go. Nice kydex click, no rattle. It's not loose, not falling out. Works very nicely. So, alright guys, that is what I got for you. Sorry for the rambling, I'm a little bit tired. I'm a lot bit tired, but alright, that's what I got. If you like this sheath, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up. If you like the channel, subscribe to it. Hit that bell if you want to receive notifications when I upload new videos. And definitely comment down below. Let me know what you think of this thing. Share it with all your buddies. Thank you for tuning in, and stick around for the next one. God bless, guys.